Welcome to our September leadership call. I'm going to try and kind of go through my slides quickly because we have our special guest, Miss Cheryl Papayan, on the call. How's my volume? If you guys can put it in comments or on Zoom chat box.
Perfect.
Good volume. Good deal. And we can hear Cheryl now that my music's down. All right. So you guys have seen this slide. I don't think that I really need to go over it every time, but just so you know a little bit about me, I try to focus on growing all areas of my Avon business so that when disasters happen, like a car crashing into my store, that I still have money coming in. So it's funny how you build your business and you don't really realize how valuable some of the decisions you've made are until something goes wrong. So I encourage you to build up as many areas of your business as you can. It's just like diversifying. If you're buying stocks or bonds, you don't want to go all in one basket. You want to spread it out. So that's my theory for building a strong Avon business. Some YouTube videos here, and then to look at Avon corporate training. They have Campaign Central 21 up. And September virtual sales meeting is coming up on September 19th. So if you guys have downloaded the handouts where you can take notes, you can actually click on those links. So hopefully that is helpful. Welcome, LaShonda and Kathy. I have decided to do another boot camp. I am repeating the information that I shared in January. So if you missed out, you can join us, or if you want a refresher, you can also join us. And I will definitely be adding anything new to the material that I've already created. So I hope you guys are excited about that. I was hesitant to plan another one and then kind of jumped right in it without really thinking about it too much. So I hope you guys find it helpful and fun. So we just celebrated our 8-year store anniversary. It's pretty wild to look back at how little the kids were. I opened in 2009, before Ava was even born. And it just kind of puts time into perspective when you look back at your memories. So make sure as you build your Avon story that you're always having fun and working how you want to, because that is one of the biggest benefits of being an Avon representative. So this is, an area that I think is the hardest of our job. At least for me it is. It's something that I constantly struggle with, and I'm always trying to get better at it. But it's about finding your work-life balance. And I think that can be tricky for anyone who's trying to work in the home. If you're like me, you don't have a door to close, you don't have your own room. So you're interrupted constantly, and it's just hard to balance everything. So hopefully these tips might help you a little bit. I always try to look at my values and what's most important to me. And that would be my health, because if I don't feel good, I can't take care of my family, and then work. So take care of you first. Like I said, you can't really do for others if you're not taking care of you. And prioritize daily based on your values. So I try to get my housework done with in the morning because that's what I dread the most. So it's kind of like a reward to work on my Avon. I know that seems kind of backwards, but that way I know that I have my house stuff done. And then when the kids come home, things are a little bit more organized around here. I already talked about having fun and make sure that you're always growing. So don't just stay in your comfort zone and do what's comfortable. That will not increase your business. It will to a point, but then you'll kind of plateau. So make sure you're always growing. Don't create dependent team members, customers, etc. So as your business grows bigger, it's harder to set those boundaries, but you have to remind yourself that you want to teach people to be self-sufficient, and you don't want your Avon business running your life. So set boundaries and be helpful, but point people in the right direction so they can take care of it themselves the next time. Analyze your results so you can focus on the right activities. So that would be like looking at your website stats, seeing where most of your traffic is coming from, and then focusing on that activity the most. Let's see. Okay, sorry, Julia is reading here about the vitamins needed. You're gonna have to I think I missed the first part of that, but we'll follow up with Avon to see when the Rep Fest vitamins are going to be delivered. Add services and helpers, if you can, employees. So as you grow bigger, it helps to add things that will help to make you more efficient. So you're not spending your time on just busy work, stamping books, delivering books. Those are not money-making activities. So try to build your business and have delegate those activities as you grow bigger. Use a planner and write to-do lists. A lot of times I find that I just overwhelm myself in my head, and it's really not as overwhelming as I tend to make it out to be. So when I'm organized and I write things down, I can go through it a lot faster. And then prioritize on the area of the business that you want to grow. So I want to advance in leadership title. So every day I wake up and say, what can I do today to help my leaders? So make sure you do that as well. Don't put it to the end of the day or you might not get to it. Okay, Julie was talking about us taking care of ourselves. Yes, so those vitamins will definitely help. Cheryl, do you have any feedback on what you find works well for you on work-life balance?
I don't have a life.
Okay.
I mean, I work a 9 or 8 to 5 job. So I work from home, so I have the ability to, you know, take care of things here and there with my Avon business. My boss allows me to be able to do that. And I don't have kids at home. I don't have grandkids close to me. So I'm kind of lucky in that sense. So that's not an area that I'm real, you know, skilled in.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think it is very difficult when you have smaller children because I feel like I'm running all over the place. So
yeah.
All right. Sometimes things in our life, in our Avon business, can blow up in our face. It started about 4 weeks ago when my blogs started going down multiple times per day. I guess that's the drawback of technology, because we become so dependent on it that when it doesn't work, it's like we're just stuck. So Rob and I have been trying to talk to the hosting company, trying to figure it out. I think we finally got it. But then last weekend, a car accidentally crashed into my store. So glass on that's going to take a few weeks. Right now, we're back to being open, but we have plywood and a residential door. So I don't know how many customers we're going to actually get. Another reason why it's so important that I built up that leadership and online business, because I have 4 employees who count on me to pay them. So if I was completely dependent on my LABC money coming in, I would be in trouble right now. So here I am having my little temper tantrum, but you know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I try to stick with the positive side of things, but when things just keep hitting me that knock me down, sometimes I hibernate for a little bit until things get better. So remember that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And so with the hurricane, my problems are peanuts. So it's always good to put things in perspective. My heart goes out to all those who had to pack up and leave their house not knowing what they were going to return to. So luckily, Avon has stepped up. You all have a page on your website. I think there's a Red Cross donation area, and then there's the bundle. So you can place them in your face-to-face orders, and then you can also share that web page, and it'll have your reference code, so you'll get the credit for those donations. I like to follow leaders that I see in person. And so John Gordon was at our Rep Fest, and I think this is a really powerful saying here. So, you know, sometimes we look too deeply into things, at why things aren't going our way or why our team's not growing, when sometimes it can be the little things that make all the difference. So I won't read through all of these to you, but basically just being a caring person, communicating, being supportive of your fellow team members, do nice things for people. It's always amazing how much support you have until you ask for a little help in return. So try to be a better giver. And yeah, I mean, just leadership is all about motivating and inspiring and helping your team members to make their dreams come true. So we are almost at 1,150 representatives. We have our superheroes on here. So no pressure, guys. Just kidding. Congratulations to Gisela on Kim's team. She advanced to star promoter. So, yay! We are over 1.2 million in sales. This campaign, we had over a $40,000 increase over campaign 19 last year. So pretty exciting. I'm excited to see where the rest of the year goes. So now we're seeing year to date, or I should say cycle to date nationwide results. So our team is in the top 50. So give yourselves a round of applause. Keep going out there and sharing the products, sharing the opportunity, and make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. All righty. So this little scrolling box here is our source of news. It changes, they add new stuff to it. It's also where you can go and see the newsletter. So this is right on your home page. You can click view all, and that's where you can sign up for Avon's text list. We have Drive Like a Boss workshops. I'm talking about that in another slide. The rebate offer. Avon gave out scholarship recipients. I forgot how many they gave out, but it was $4,000 for, I believe, President's Club family members. So when I was on a trip with Leslie, who's not on our team anymore, but she was actually one of the winners of the scholarship. So it was really cool. Avon does good things that sometimes we don't even realize they do. So that was pretty neat. There's Product Alert, the Loving Family Stretch Bracelet could be delayed. And I talk about those in the rest of the slides. So here's the rebate offer and how this is going to work. So we're kind of just, Cheryl's thought about it more than I have. So I'm gonna put the pressure on you and ask you how you're gonna use this with your recruiting and your pending appointments.
Okay, so first, just a quick how it works is if you have a new representative that places a first order of $150 or more after September 15th, but within the time frame of their first expected campaign. So they have to place it by that campaign number, and then they'll get the rebate. So this is a good opportunity for getting new recruits. You can let them know when you're following up on leads or contacting initial leads that, you know, if you sign up now and you place your first order of $150, you're going to get 50% of the cost of your kit back after you place that $150 order. So not only is it a good recruiting tool, but it's also a good tool to get them to place that $150 order, which you're going to get the $20 bonus. You're going to be getting the 3% earnings from their sales. And it will also give you points, either 150 for Alma leads or 300 points for personal leads towards the Cruise Like a Boss. Yeah.
Cool. So those are going to show up on your new rep's account as a credit.
And also at the end of the week,
can you hear Cheryl okay? Jean is saying the volumes. I hear her okay. Maybe
I'll get closer.
Okay.
In our vibe under the reports, it's actually at the end of the week, they said that you're actually going to be able to pull up the report on who has earned the rebate.
Oh, cool. Good deal. That's new information to me. Okay, so we have a session coming up on how to integrate Instagram with Facebook. Which, to be honest, I kind of grew my online presence without Instagram, so I haven't been the best at incorporating that. So I'm always willing to learn and grow, so I'm going to check that webinar out. So those are free. Social Selling Simplified. You can register here, and then you can join the support Facebook group. So Drive Like a Boss workshops are open for registration for September. They are coming out with different locations in October. They said that the registration will be open as soon as possible. They had something fall through with some of the venues. So not to worry, there's more coming. It is a free full day event. So if there's one near you, make sure you check it out and register because it'll fill up fast. Most of you know about the Daily Care Collection. If you're newer to leadership and you have questions about these flyers or programs, make sure you check your sales leadership tab on your Avon. And then, you know, if I'm not available, the leadership desk is there to answer your questions. That's how I learned most of what I know about leadership, and it's still ever evolving. So I use that number frequently. So those of you that are new to Avon or even to team building, there's a few ways you can sign people up. I always recommend putting it on your paper marketing materials. Your reference code is the end of your customer website. So you can sign people up at startavon.com with your reference code. There have been many re-linked reps lately. So make sure that if you've talked to someone and they said, hey, I signed up and you did not get a self-appointment email, you guys need to take action immediately because they only have 5 days to switch leaders. So you need to actually give that new team member the leadership hotline number. They call and say, I was signed up under the wrong person, and they will fix it for you. Julie, so I tried to ask about the virtual training, and the person that I asked did not know the details of what was going to be required for the Drive Like a Boss incentive on Avon U. So it sounds like they're still working that out. So as soon as I hear anything, or check that Beauty Buzz, and I'm sure it'll be posted there as soon as Avon has made a decision there. You can sign someone up by getting the link from Sell Avon on your website. The easiest way is to go to your social media center and filter by Become a Rep. You can click on these little social media icons and it'll share with your individual link. So it's never too early to start recruiting. We have some of our newest team members who have added someone before they've even placed an order. So I will attempt to say the names here. Gotti, Delana, Monica, Tara, Hattie, Marsha, Leanne, Chrissy, Hope, Carla, Kira, Beth, Gisela, Shannon, Brenda, and Jill. Congratulations. And it's also never too late to build your leadership team. I didn't start till 3 years ago. So for 5 years, I didn't focus on leadership, and I wish I did. So I'm going to kind of go through these fast that I show you every month. President's Club, make sure you know where you're at for the year and that you are updating your team members so they can make that $10,000 mark by the end of the year. One of the big bonuses of reaching President's Council or becoming a bronze executive is an all-expense paid trip that's called the PRP trip. So that's one of the big perks of getting to the top sales or leadership levels. I also want you to pay close attention at the bonuses here. If you're frustrated and want to advance but need some motivation, look at what your bonus check could be and do what it takes to get to that next level. Like Cheryl mentioned, a $20 bonus for every successful recruit, 50 if you're in Kickstart still, and then a 3% bonus for the lifetime of that rep. Charlotte is asking, will we get cruise points for second generation recruits? And the answer is no, but your leader will. So it'll still help your team. It just won't help you directly on that. Oh, hang on. Oh, shoot. Now I'm in. Okay. So congratulations, Cheryl, Jane, Terry, Kim, and Trisha. Almost, I think it is the same people in our total reps. So great job. You guys can make it to that leaderboard. Just focus on adding every single campaign. Appointments in September: Becky, Jane, Kim, Heather, Barbara, Cheryl, Monica, Tara, Amy, Terry, Sarah, and Delana. Great job, you guys. Now is the time to follow up with old leads. Get on the phone, work with those leads that are signing up. Let's all earn that cruise to Bermuda. The Drive Like a Boss incentive has started. Make sure you're familiar with the guidelines on that so that you can hopefully be, man, I can't minimize the chat screen, so I'm not gonna be able to see your guys' comments, but I'll just keep going. So there's different ways that you can earn points for this incentive. One car will be given away per region. Cruise Like a Boss to Bermuda. The incentives have always been a great motivator for me. That's kind of one of the reasons I really wanted to do leadership, because I was missing out on all these cool trips. So I just figured out how I enjoyed recruiting. So make sure you know the incentive points here. And I've advised my team to focus mostly on title promotion and mentoring, since those are the biggest amount of points. I'll send out a tracker that someone made so that you guys can keep track of your own points as you go. Hang that up in your office, by your computer. Sometimes those Vibe reports and that little wheel don't move as fast as we'd like to. So be self-sufficient, track your own points, then you can be excited that you have more than what's showing. So there are incremental rewards as you build your points. And then, of course, our goal is all to get that trip for 2. So break it down into pieces, divide it by 13. That will give you how many points you need to average per campaign. And so we want to use the Cruise Like a Boss as a motivator for our current team members, and also as a recruiting tool. So I used Pizzap to make little digital images for any of my team members that wanted them. So be creative in what you're sharing online. Do a video about it, make still frames, try to switch it up, but then personalize it with your own information on there. Don't just use the same thing over and over. People get tired of seeing that, but it's definitely a big lure to bring people into our business. So where can we share this information? We can share it in blogs, emails, social media posts, texting, and calls. People tend to get a little angry about text sometimes, so I'm very careful on, on who I text and how often. Recruiting images and videos. Think about how you can build that online to attract people. And then how to. So if you already have a team, make sure you're encouraging your team members and having talks with them so that they have a plan in place to achieve it themselves. And then especially with this incentive, it's super important to bring it up to your team weekly. Do daily cheerleading. So my leaders get to laugh at me probably once a week because I send Snapchats where it has the voice changer and I tell them great job for recruiting. So be a cheerleader. Make sure you're doing weekly tracking for your leaders. So what I do is I've been taking the reports in Vibe and taking out any personal information like their account number and that kind of stuff, and just uploading it for them as a PDF file so they can all track their own progress. So it's kind of cool to do it that way. It helps everyone be accountable for themselves. Alrighty. Yay! So I rushed through that because I think you guys all pretty much know that kind of stuff. And I'm welcoming, this is the first time that I've brought on one of my team members to the calls, and the calls are getting kind of redundant for me. So it was fun to bring Cheryl in and get to hear a little bit of her expertise, because she is successful in sales. She's really good at converting leads, and she's grown a big team in a short amount of time. So I'll just introduce her here with some of her accomplishments. She's been a rep since September 2014, almost 3 years. Honor Society, bronze leader. Her team is 235 reps right now. Her personal sales for this cycle are already over 14,000, and her team sales over 180,000. She has 8 people in leadership, and she's accomplished many things. I only shared a few on here. I can't believe she's already a national ranking leader, number 11 in team growth. So that was super exciting to see at RepFest, and just great to be up there on stage with her. So that was my proud mama moment. We did the Avon 39 walk together, vacation like a boss she earned, go country, win big. So she's a girl after my own heart that sees something out there that she wants, and she goes after it and works hard for it. So I'm going to let Cheryl talk to you for as long as she wants.
Boy. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here tonight and talking to you all. Thank you, Emily, for the wonderful introduction and the invite. So first I want to talk about, you guys might laugh at this, but why did I start selling Avon? I'm going to be honest with you. I was bored. I had no plan whatsoever. My daughter was selling it. My friend Leslie was selling it. My sister-in-law was selling it. I didn't have anything to do. So one day I just signed up for the heck of it. It was, I think at the time it was only $15. So that's why I started selling Avon, but it really has become so much more. I realized that I was good at it. I was proud of myself. I saw all of these opportunities that Avon gives to their representatives, the trips, the rewards, the bonuses, just so much. And so I wanted them all. I'm very competitive with myself. And so I'm so glad that I did join, and that I was made aware through one way or another, usually Emily, of all the opportunities available, and I've just went with it. And that's the best thing to do. Just go for it. And as long as you're putting the time and effort into it, you're going to be successful. So that's what I love most about Avon. It's just the opportunity. And probably the second thing I love about it is how it makes me feel. I'm actually proud of myself for I've always been proud of myself, but it was always working for somebody else, or, doing this for somebody else. But this is all about me being successful and making my team successful. And so it's just so rewarding. The goals for my Avon business, my most immediate goal is to advance to gold leader by the end of the cycle. That would be campaign 26. So that's what I'm focusing on most right now. My sales are up there. My team is constantly growing, but I want to be gold leader. I want to be invited to the yearly leadership retreat and all that fun stuff, and share it with Emily. And then along with that, what's going to happen is my husband is going to be able to drop from working 5 days a week to only 3 days a week. A lot of people are like, well, why don't you drop your hours? Because I do work 5 days a week too. But see, I need him to work less so that he can help me more. It's actually selfish. So, and then eventually we're both going to retire. And I actually truly believe that that should happen in a couple of years. I was on a 5-year goal a year ago, so 4 years left, but I don't think it's going to take me those 4 years. I'm determined within the next couple of years, maybe a year, that I can actually retire, and so can my husband. So those are my goals. Best recruiting tips. I'm actually going to look at my notes here. Posting on social media is a great recruiting tool, whether it's Facebook, Instagram. But one thing that, especially if you're posting on Facebook, don't post it so that the link shows up. Post a photo first, and you can get recruiting photos in your web office. Right click, save them. You can get them on all the different groups and stuff. But post the photo and then put your text in there and include your link and your code. And the reason for that is when you post a photo versus a link that actually pops up, the photo is going to get more impressions. People are going to see it, more people. And so you're going to get more interaction that way versus posting a link. So those are some ideas. Tell your story. You don't want to just put out there, hey, join my team, here's the link, bye. That's not going to work. Tell a story. Tell people, oh my gosh, I just placed my order and I got all my supplies I need for the next 6 months and I saved 40%. I love Avon. Say things like that. Tell them how you earned a trip, or you earned, those scratcher tickets, anything. Tell them how wonderful it is and get them interested, get them asking questions. Let's see, what else? So tell stories, mix it up. And then also they have, Avon has available, I don't have the item number, but if you go into sales tools down at the bottom, they have the recruiting booklets, and they have these little ones. Hold on. These little recruiting booklets, and I believe you get 25 for $3 or something like that. So they're really nice. You can put your label on the back. You can slip them in your brochures. You can leave them places, hand them out to people. So I think these are really awesome. And like I said, you get, I think, 25 or 30 for just a few bucks. So it's a really good deal. And just everywhere you go, talk to people. Try to get them interested by opening a conversation, letting them know, oh my gosh, your makeup looks wonderful. You'd be great at selling Avon, So just start a conversation. Don't push it on anybody. Just kind of let the conversation get to that point about selling Avon. So those are my best recruiting tips. What does my lead follow-up process look like? What I do when I get a lead, I get my leads through Alma. I actually don't really do a lot of traditional recruiting, which is recruiting outside of Alma. But when I do get an Alma lead, I call them immediately. They seldom answer the phone. So what I do is let them know, leave a message letting them know I'm going to send them a follow-up text. And in the follow-up text, at the very end of it, it says, check your email for additional information. And then I send them the email. And in that email, it's going to have attached to it the starter kits and I believe the Kickstart program information. So I do all three as soon as possible. It probably takes me 2 minutes to do them all. I mean, it's very quick. And then I follow up, depending on my schedule, within 3 to 5 business days. I do all three again. And then I do it all again in a week, all again in 2 weeks from that, and then all again in a month. So I'm just constantly following up with them because people's lives can change in a week. They might not be interested today, but a week from now, Maybe they lost their job. Maybe their daughter signed up for cheer. Maybe they found out their medication was going to be really expensive and all of a sudden they need additional money. So people's lives change. And just because they're not ready today doesn't mean they won't be ready tomorrow. So always keep that in mind. Okay, leadership activities. I do so many leadership activities. Probably the thing, I'll tell you what my weakest point is, and that is having one-on-one conversations. Have one-on-one conversations with your team members. I really wish I did it more, and I'm working on it. And that is probably my biggest failure. If that's the only one, I can live with it. But I let them know when their orders are due. I make sure that they are aware of the incentives that are going on currently and how they can actually earn them. I give them tips on how to earn the incentives. I have a Facebook team page where I constantly post things. I post a daily motivation. I post that their orders are due. I post any alerts that Avon has coming out, whether it's a product, availability alert, or for instance, the people that are in the hurricane areas, their order submission date has been pushed out to help them. Those type of things I will actually send an email as well because I want to make sure that they get that information. Let's see, I check my Vibe daily. That is so important. Vibe has so much information, and if you don't know it real well, just spend a couple hours going through it and just opening up everything and seeing actually what everything is. In Vibe, you can pull up different queries. You can export them to Excel, which I do often. It makes it easier for me to get a phone number list, to send text messages. So Vibe is extremely helpful. They have updates on how people are doing with the incentives. You can see who or who hasn't placed an order. You can look at the action alerts and find out who might be removed due to inactivity or due to a past due account. It's also going to tell you, give you an update, like when people promote, you might miss it. But if you're checking your Vibe daily, you're not going to. And they have a report about pending appointments, so you can see who has signed up new recruits on a daily basis. So Vibe is really important. And then lastly, recognition. As a leader, it's so important to recognize the efforts of your team. And so every campaign after it closes out, I like to do a recognition on my blog, and then I email it to all my representatives. And I also post on my team page. So there's 3 different areas that it's going to, so that I make sure that people are getting that recognition. And then I also, to my top sellers, I like to send out a little card congratulating them. It's always nice to get a little card in the mail. I learned that from Emily because she's really good about sending those out. So those are some of the leadership activities I do. And one thing I want to point out is that it's really important as a leader to treat your downline with respect and to expect it back from them. I've been hearing a lot about leaders bullying their representatives because of the Cruise Like a Boss incentive. They really want the representatives to place those $150 orders. Well, bullying somebody isn't the way to do it. You encourage them and you give them some type of an incentive or something to make them want to place that order. If somebody was bullying me, I'd say, yeah, not going to happen. So I hope that you guys are just really treating your downline team members with respect and being good to them, showing them that you care. You have to understand that everybody learns at a different pace. Everybody works at a different pace. Everybody has different whys as to why they joined Avon. And so when you think of these differences, not everybody is going to do what you want them to do. They're going to do the best that they can do. And that may not be the same as the best that you or somebody else can do. And so always keep that in mind. Don't get disappointed when what you want or expect from your team members doesn't happen. It doesn't mean they didn't work hard. It doesn't mean they didn't try. And the last thing that they want to hear is, that they failed. It's just, anyways, so that's something I really wanted to point out about just being really good to your downline, because they are your business. They're not your employees, but they're the ones that lift you up. And by lifting them up, you're lifting yourself up as well. So keep that in mind. Let's see, my onboarding process for reps. I do send a welcome email out right away. And I don't know where I got it from. I copied it from another group. And I really like it. It has all their information. I include the Kickstart attachment. Their RPS schedule is attached to it. And it just has all this information, not overload, but enough information for them to understand what to do and how to get started. And then I send them a little welcome card in the mail that has my business card in it, just to have that little connection with them. I try to reach out to them and let them know that I'm there for them if they need any help. It's important to find out their why, because knowing their why will help the two of you together to put a plan in place for them to be successful, how they want to be successful, not how you want them to be, but what is successful for them. Is it just having that extra money every month to help with the bills? Is it to put together a full-time business so that they can work from home, until their kids grow up? So once you find out that why, you can set that plan in motion with the goals that they need to strive for. And another important thing is to not really answer their questions. I mean, there's going to be questions they're going to ask you that you're going to answer, but teach them how to find the answers themselves. Teach them when they ask when their order is due, teach them how to log into youravon.com and find the answer, so that every campaign thereafter, they know where to find those answers. And the same with all of the different things. How do I order sales tools? How do I order brochures? How do I place my first order? Show them instead of telling them. And it will make both of your lives so much easier. It makes them independent, and it makes you have to spend less time on those little items, and you could focus more on the important things with the team, with your growth and everything. So let's see. I can't see any questions, so hopefully there's not any. Emily will let me know if there is. Okay, my tips for achieving crews like a boss. Emily mentioned that she had a chart to help. And I think that's wonderful, because you need to set a plan. And by doing that, you need to figure out, okay, this is how many points I need. Like Emily said, if you just want to earn it for one, take 7,000, divide it by 13, and then you're going to know how many points you need per campaign. Or is it the opposite? No, I was right. And then figure out how you can achieve that. Is it by promoting? If you're a star promoter, it wouldn't be too hard to have 2 promotions. First one to bronze ambassador, second one to silver ambassador. That would earn you 2,000 points. Maybe you get to that point and you have somebody else on your team in your downline that is doing really well with leadership, and you can work with them to promote, so you get another 500 points. How are your sales? Are you going to be able to get $300 in sales per campaign, or are your sales high enough that you average well over $500 per campaign? So that'll tell you, like my orders are always $500. So I know that I'm going to get $2,600 in points just for placing my orders every campaign. So look at all these different items, figure out a plan of how you can achieve the cruise and put it into motion and focus on those things, whether it's promoting, boosting your sales up, at least try and get $300 in sales per campaign. That's 1,300 points. And in the end, remember that along the way, you're going to get those other incentive rewards. So those are actually pretty nice too. So that's a good way to achieve. That's what I'm going to do. I know that I need to promote and I need a silver ambassador. So I am focusing on getting another silver ambassador, because once that happens, I'm confident that I will double promote. So that right there is 3,000 points plus my 2,600 from submitting my $500 orders. And you just start adding it up and figure out where you're going to end up and what you need to do. My tips for advancing in title. Again, you're going to want to make a plan. You have to have a plan, and you have to know what you need to get where you're going to go. And Vibe actually does that pretty good. They have a little section in there where it tells you exactly what it is that you need to promote. So make a plan, figure out what you need, and put it into place. I know that I need my silver ambassador, so that's my main focus. And I know that I'm going to earn 3,000 points just by getting a silver ambassador, and those are for the Cruise Like a Boss. So it's kind of double. Not only am I going to advance to gold leader, woohoo, but I'm going to get 3,000 points towards the Cruise Like a Boss. And check this out. If I double promote, I'm going to get $4,500 in bonus money. It's like a no-brainer. Why would I not want to earn those things? So I am focused. I know what I need to do, and that's what I care about. My sales are already there. My team's there. I just need to work with them, get that silver ambassador, and promote, go on the cruise. Woohoo! We're going to have like foofy drinks. What's a foofy drink? Pina colada. We're going to have pina coladas on the deck of the ship together. And we're just going to be giving high fives and cheers, and we're going to have a blast. So put your plans in motion, know what you need, know how to get it, and go after it. Just don't take no for an answer. You just got to go for it. Along the way, treat everybody with respect. And I think that's it. I hope that this helped and that you could all hear me. After
Yes, we could.
Now that I'm all done, I hope you all heard.
You got to start over.
Anyway, so again, I hope that helped. Thank you again, Emily, for letting me present to everybody today. And yay Avon.
Yay, Avon.
Happy fingers.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome. I hope I made you proud.
Yes, you're awesome.
Getting hot over here, and I'm in Buddy's corner.
Uh-oh. I'm always like hot and bothered after my calls too. I think it's all the lighting.
Yeah, I'm turning this up.
Sarah told you not to use toilet paper to blot.
I know, I've done that before.
Have a little piece of toilet paper on your face.
Oh yeah, I saw her story and I just started laughing because I've been there, done that.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a story.
Oh yeah, you have to watch her video. Except she thought something was wrong with her face. So that's funny.
Oh no, a live feed. See, that's the downside of a live feed. I guess you can at least like delete it, but you can't really go back after people see it. Cool. Well, I hope you guys found that helpful. Let's see, Cheryl, can you, let's see, I can mute you. Haha. Okay, I think I had an echo. Okay, good deal. So one of the biggest questions people always ask me when I see them at events is, how do I make my team member be successful? You know, how do I do it? They signed up, they sounded so promising, and they're not doing well. The only thing that I can say is to recruit. Always. Recruiting is a revolving process. Top leaders lose team members all the time. It's just part of our business. So keep bringing people in and working with the people who are willing to work. You know, all you can do is provide the information and the support. So if your reps don't pick up on that and they're not willing to work for it, you know, sometimes it's time to move on. You have to keep recruiting, and about 1 in 10 will be a rock star. Okay, so those aren't the best odds in the world, but all that hard work starts to pay off the more you move up that leadership level, the leadership ladder. So the work that you're doing today may not pay off for 2 more years, but when it does, it is so rewarding, and it's just as soon as it starts piling up, that's when you're like, oh my gosh, like, thank God I never gave up. So if you are not in a place where you're making good money and you're feeling frustrated, look to those who are successful. I always followed Lisa Wilbur and saw her ridiculously huge checks, and that kept me going. So I thank her for being open and sharing that with us, and keep building till you find your mini me's, your rock stars. It makes it all worth it. So I have a couple of events coming up. My webinars are open to everyone. I am doing that boot camp in October. It is free for Team Momentum. So if you don't know how to sign up, just give me a quick shout out. I have to be honest, I've been pretty overwhelmed lately, trying to keep up with everything. So I'm pretty good at getting back to you. So text me or email me. Facebook Messenger, I don't check that every day. So don't send important things that way. You can call me, but I'm always running like crazy. So it's best to set up a time. So I thank you guys for joining, and I wanted to end with Adele here. So no matter what you look like, I think the key is to be happy with yourself. I don't know if many of you know, but I have struggled with depression and anxiety. Anxiety is kind of what I struggle with daily. So do what makes you happy. Be the best you. Be the best Avon rep that you can. Don't compare yourself to other representatives. Look back at your own growth. Julie's saying our spirit calming pills actually work. I was taking those daily for a while, so I have to thank you for reminding me. So we all go through our different struggles. Find what makes you unique. Become an expert at that. A big life changer for me was my big surgery that scared me to death. So, you know, it's a little bit crazy to think about like what kind of difference you've made in people's lives that are around you. But I encourage you to think about that, and it will make you look at life differently. So I hope that that helped you guys, you know, do the best you can, be happy. I know I'm my own worst enemy. Try to avoid the drama that comes with Avon, and just do the best that you can do, provide for your team, and help them achieve their goals and dreams. So if you guys have any questions for me or Cheryl, I'll open it up to Q&A. Replay info. So because you registered for my webinar, you will get the replay in tomorrow's email out to you. So I communicate a lot. I communicate often. I think that's one of the keys to being successful in this business. So don't think about you feeling like you're annoying your team. You want to be there, be supportive. The more communication you have with them, the more comfortable they'll feel reaching out to you. Learning lessons always. So you never stop learning lessons in life and the Avon business. It looks like you guys are just chatting away. So I don't see any questions. So I hope you found something helpful out of tonight. Give me a prayer and a wish that my luck starts turning around. I had my blogs and then this car crashing through the store, and then Ava was homesick. Also reminds me how grateful I am that I'm not also having to show up at a job every day with these little disasters happening. So thank you guys. Are we invited to the Emily? Are we inviting Emily to the party? I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I'll be there. Okay. Have a good night and have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.